Now I know what you're thinking.
Twitter is not a note-taking app. It's social media. It's a town square. It's Wild West. It's the end of the world. It's Elon Musk's new empire.
And yes, this is true, but if you use it correctly, Twitter can actually be a very potent note-taking app, although they don't say it themselves as so. This is actually how I use Twitter as some kind of a public note-taking app. Like whenever I have an idea, I just write them down as a new tweet, which in this case would be a new note, and everyone could benefit from these notes. And I'm not the only one who uses Twitter as a note-taking app. So therefore we review Twitter like any other note-taking app. It has 5 benefits, but also 3 drawbacks. As I said, it's very easy to create notes. You have this tweet button. So whenever you have an idea, whenever you have a certain insight, you can just create a new tweet, click the button. And you can also attach other stuff like pictures and polls and whatever. And unsurprisingly, Twitter is probably the most collaborative note-taking app if we just hang on with that description for a while. And because it's so collaborative and you get this instant feedback, it somewhat forces you to clarify your own thoughts in order to express them to the world, because that's actually pretty good. There is this Feynman technique in which you learn the best yourself if you try to explain it for someone else. So you're sort of explaining it in a way that someone who has not your history and some other assumptions can easily follow along with yours. And by doing it absolutely concrete and absolutely clear for yourself, you'll be able to get the most out of the note-taking practice itself. There might be people who really appreciate what you're going for in whatever experience that you have. Someone is 2 years behind what you're currently making, stuff like that. You might be a complete expert for them. And especially for new creators, this is kind of this low-risk, very lean way of testing out your ideas. The more you sort of like dig into what's working and what doesn't work, then you can create own businesses just by profitable video ideas and tweets. It's sort of like a low-risk way to test your water. I talk about that there are pretty much only 2 activities that you do for note-taking app. 1 is writing down and 2 is finding your notes again. When it comes to search, Twitter of course is very good at that. You have this search bar which you can search other people, other people's tweets, hashtags, whatever, but you can also search your own. And in terms of favorites, Twitter has this bookmarking feature that I don't know if many people are actually using it, but it's very useful. But you can do the same for your own tweets as well if you have some particular notes that you felt really defined you in a particular way. And in terms of linking, Twitter is very famous for retweeting and even quoting different tweets. So it's sort of like a linkage from there. And then you got all this comment session where you can just reply and reply after that. And timeline, yeah, as you probably know, Twitter is all about timeline and doom scrolling, so nothing special with that. And Twitter is of course super accessible, and you can access it from multiple devices like computer, your phone, your tablet, whatever. You do need an internet connection of course, because it's all internet based, so that's probably the only drawback. And lastly, Twitter is free for everyone. So these were the 5 main benefits of Twitter as a note-taking app. But of course, because it's not really a note-taking app, actually, there are some drawbacks and we're going to discuss those. The biggest one is of course that you cannot edit. Of course, when it comes to Twitter compared to like other social platforms, you cannot really edit your tweets. Once you've tweeted that, it's gone forever, and the only option is sort of like delete it and start over. And there is also no formatting. You cannot bold text, you cannot highlight, you cannot do italics and whatever, unless you can do some code stuff, which I'm not aware of. And also, of course, because we're talking social media, it's all going to be in public. Everyone is going to read it, unless you do some kind of an account that no one follows. This is kind of a bonus one, which I just figured out now. But because Twitter is social media, then it's of course it's engineered that you want to stay in platform as long as possible. So if you find you are not really too much in control in terms of your scrolling, then maybe Twitter might not be the best app for you yet. So is Twitter the best note-taking app for you? And obviously some kind of a joke. Twitter is not claiming to be a note-taking app at all, but maybe you've seen how similar Twitter is like to other established note-taking apps. And if you want to share your insights to the world and sort of make your own business and fortune and wealth that way, then it's a good place to start, to be honest.